This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like
right.
that.
You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It is Wednesday, June 12th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon, and I'm Sam. Let's get started. The U.S. women's soccer team is facing a ton of criticism at this moment. It's all over the team's record-setting 13-0 blowout win against Thailand yesterday. The U.S. team continued to celebrate after every goal, even when they were already the clear winners. Some are accusing them of poor sportsmanship. Some of the Thai players were left in tears. U.S. soccer star Alex Morgan even comforted a Thai player after the game.
I'm sorry, Sam. I have a huge problem with this because I think you women should as well.
I do not.
Our women's. We'll wait real quick before you get into the participation trophy mode. Because our women's team comes out and says they want equality in pay. Our women's team is the #1 team in the country, and they're playing in a tournament where only the best countries in the world are playing in. And they go out and they beat up on a team in the first game, and they're receiving criticism.
Well, here's the thing, really quickly, and then I want you guys to jump in. This is the way I see it as an athlete. First of all, I do not think everybody deserves a participation award or ribbon. That's not what I'm saying.
Especially in the World Cup, yeah.
Okay, especially. But in this case, they knew that they were far better than the Thailand team. And even like a 4-0 soccer game would be considered like a huge win, right? A blowout even at that. So the fact that they continued to score goals, and I'm not saying they shouldn't celebrate, but the way they celebrated, to me, it felt like a complete miss that they weren't aware of quite the blowout that was happening in front of them.
You have to be aware of a blowout.
It's not normal. 12-0, that's not normal.
I can't help it that you
get in there, guys. Get in.
Come on, Tori, you got to be on my side here, Tori.
I completely agree with Brandon on this.
There we go. Let's keep it going.
And the reason is this, and I want to ask you about this. Your coach, what was his name? Your coach?
Jim Triplett.
That's right, Jim Triplett. I thought it was something like that. He would have wanted you to have momentum going into the next game. And to have 13 goals and to go all out and to cheer gets a lot of energy out and gets good momentum. I think if you're at the World Cup stage,
there's no tact.
We should be competing. It shouldn't be tact. It's competition.
Yeah, but it's not a time here. You don't have two runners that are racing for a time. With a time, I understand it because that time you have to continuously beat. When it's 13-0, that doesn't happen in soccer. When you're 4-0, you consider a win. Then for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all the way to the 13th goal, you're still celebrating it like it's your first, second, third goal. That to me came off unsportsmanlike.
I thought it was, in my opinion.
I'm on the fence. So I think there's nothing wrong with them continuing to score goals and to continue to celebrate, but maybe not to the extent of the first couple of goals.
Hyped world of soccer.
Stephanie,
the World Cup.
they celebrated with each other.
13 goals
do you understand how hard it is to score a goal, let alone score a goal on the world's biggest stage?
It's not that
no
hard,
comparison between those two teams.
Here's where I'm going to get you. Here's my 13-0 right here. Kevin Durant went out and played, injured himself. We don't know if he's going to play basketball again. When you have a chance to go out and play the game you love, when you go out and play, I'm missing. I got my points, 13 points. I got all the points I needed.
Sam's not saying they shouldn't have been scoring the goals. It's just a victory, rubbing it in their faces after a certain amount.
They didn't rub it. You read Alex Morgan comforted Thai players after where they were crying.
When you reach 4-0, you know that's a blowout. And then they continued and continued and continued.
Let's be honest, this sounds really awful, but who's watching the Women's World Cup anyway? It's rubbish.
DBL
Sorry.
participation trophy right there.
A cup of water. There you go, folks. All right, today Congress is voting on a 9/11 compensation fund. Just a day after Jon Stewart, we talked about it here on this show yesterday, gave a passionate plea to lawmakers. Let's get to Kelly Schubert with the latest.
Sam, I've actually got good news. The House Judiciary Committee just passed an extension to give money to first responders and other survivors of 9/11. This comes just hours after Jon Stewart sat in front of Congress and begged lawmakers to give them the care they deserve. Listen.
Your indifference costs these men and women their most valuable commodity, time. It's the one thing they're running out of. This should be flipped. This hearing should be flipped. These men and women should be up on that stage, and Congress should be down here answering their questions. as to why this is so damn hard and takes so damn long.
Sam, the bill will now head to the House, and they're expected to vote on it next month. I'll keep you updated.
So you guys know I watched the whole thing. I highly recommend it. Full standing ovation at the very end of it. He ended with 18 years. They did their job. Now do yours. And he looked right at Congress. I highly recommend it. They're voting on the extension today. It seems like it should be bipartisan, but just letting you know, some congressmen...
They passed it.
They did.
It's passed.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Some Congress people didn't even know it was not being fulfilled. So fantastic job.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well done. Well, the 2020 election is heating up, and both President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden were in Iowa yesterday trading insults at campaign events. Watch.
Biden, who's a loser.
He's setting a standard of crude language and embarrassing behavior.
Looks like he's failing.
Trump is tearing down the guardrails of democracy.
I think he's the weakest mentally. And I like running against people that are weak mentally.
Trump poses a fundamental threat to America.
Joe Biden is a dummy.
Wow. But the former VP is beating the president by a landslide in a recent national poll. Biden leads Trump in a one-on-one matchup by a whopping 13 points, and his fellow Democratic candidates are also ahead. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is beating the president by 9 points. California Senator Kamala Harris is at an 8-point lead. And Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is up by 7 points. Finally, Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey and Mayor Pete Buttigieg from Indiana both hold a 5-point margin over Trump. But another recent CNN poll showed that the majority of Americans, 54% of us, think the president will win in 2020. I don't believe polls anymore. Like one poll will tell you this, the other poll will tell you that. What do you think about the civility in the politics right now?
I think you could tell by the reaction in this room alone, right? We're just a little bit of a microcosm of everyone. And what did we do? We all laughed. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. It's silly. Dummy this. Sleepy-eyed or Sleepy Joe this. It's sad. It's boring. And I'm telling you, the American people don't want it anymore. I really think, look at Pete Buttigieg and people when they say, if you want to stop talking about Trump, you got to turn the channel. And what they mean is in our heads, we've got to stop focusing on just Trump and coming back at him. You've got to talk about the people. You got to move on. So Biden, I get it. That's your one thing. You're going straight after him, but the people are going to get real tired of it.
Got it. All right. Let's move on. The site of the largest nuclear disaster in history is seeing a huge spike in tourism. Wow. It's all thanks to the very popular HBO show Chernobyl. More than 30 years after the incident, it's still designated as an exclusion zone, meaning humans are prohibited from living there. Now tourists are posting their photos to Instagram. They're posing in areas evacuated years ago, smiling at a site where many lost their lives. Even some on Instagram, or even some Instagram influencers rather, are there, like this model who is seen here half-dressed in a radiation suit, or this influencer who is posing in the control room, which got nearly 8,000 likes before she took it down. Now the director of the HBO miniseries is asking people to be respectful, tweeting, if you visit, please remember that a terrible tragedy occurred there. Comfort yourselves with respect for all who suffered and sacrificed. Stephanie, what is going on with our society today?
What we all need to remember is that in 1986, this was one of the world's most horrific nuclear disasters. 31 people died at the time, but thousands died later, including over 4,000 children that got thyroid cancer from the radiation. So, do I think people should go and pay their respects or go and look around it as a piece of history? Yes. But going and getting half naked and then taking it and uploading to Instagram and taking a photo, it's so disrespectful. So I definitely think, people just need to be super aware of what they're doing.
I don't think
be more
people are
conscious
aware.
of others. Look, I mean, this is really
people aren't aware. They're all about the gram. They're all about the likes. They're all about the appreciation and the self-validation.
Absolutely. What we're seeing there are before pictures. The after pictures are them with 3 eyes because of all that radiation. So I don't feel bad what's going to happen to these people after that.
I don't think
you want to do it for the gram.
Well, I think it's interesting because I think you can call it the Instagram filter, right? You take a picture of Chernobyl and it's somehow like cool, and the idea of radiation doesn't come through. Like the actual fact of the picture
then something's
is filtered
wrong
out.
with you.
Right. There's a lens that's broken there with your brain that you're not putting the two as real.
Pretty scary.
I think
it's like an episode of Black Mirror.
It is.
Yeah.
It is 100%.
See, like,
Final thought, honey.
Things like this, guy, obviously, he's not wearing any protection. The other woman that was in the control room was wearing a full bodysuit. She was wearing a mask. And to be honest, I don't have a problem with that photo.
I do. Stop going there.
I don't have a problem with that photo.
I do.
But if you're like posing, like doing a peace sign and half naked,
people
you need
died
to
in
check
there.
yourself.
What is it? I know it's not like a concentration camp because there wasn't people that did it to people. But you don't do that. That's just respectful, consecrated ground, in my opinion.
All right, chime in, DBL Nation. Let us know how you feel. Today, we're getting a look at Pete Davidson's collection of tattoos. The Saturday Night Live star has more than 40 all over his body. They all seem very random, no rhyme or reason. So we're breaking down Pete's ink in a hard-hitting DBL investigation. First, you need to see this Cheshire cat tattoo from Alice in Wonderland. The cat is known for its mischievous grin, so is Pete up to something? Now take a closer look at his shoulder. That's none other than Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She has her crown, which, you know, a lot of people attributed to
Notorious.
the
Notorious
notorious
RBG.
RBG.
Just say Biggie Smalls is the wickedest. Say it real quick.
Okay, let's get.
Okay, keep it. Sorry.
A lot to take in here. He made sure to put his last name on his side in case he forgets, but although it could be a note to his father who passed away.
Yep.
And the only tattoo that we know the meaning of is this pig. It's the pet pig he adopted with his ex Ariana Grande named Piggy Smalls. There you go, Brandon.
There you go.
But wait, there's more. You can see that famous Tootsie Pop owl in the middle of his back, so I wonder if Pete knows how many licks it takes till you get to the center of the Tootsie Pop.
Nice.
Maybe.
Okay.
And we can't forget to mention this skull on his chest. That's from Mars Attacks. Looks familiar. Okay. And there is one tattoo we never thought we'd see. Let's take a closer look. What do you think that is? It is the DBL logo. We had no idea that Pete was a member of the DBL Nation. Did you know that?
Next to the belly button, though? Come on, we couldn't get prime real estate.
We couldn't be on the heart?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that
DBL's for the heart.
Yeah, DBL right there. I do think that Davidson, his father, speaking of first responders, was a 9/11 firefighter who passed at 9/11.
Yeah.
And actually, I think Davidson is for that. So, beautiful sentiment. I don't get the rest of it, but I do appreciate the last name.
I love tattoos. I do think they can look really classy and elegant, and I love it when there's like a really nice meaning.
Yeah, me too.
So I know Mark's got a lovely one with the coordinates of where you first kissed or met. I think that's really romantic and lovely. But seriously, some of those, no offense, but it looks a bit of a mess.
The Tootsie Pop thing?
I know. A little childish.
Who eats red Tootsie Pops? Like, I just can't
Who
fathom
has it
that.
tattooed on their body?
Who eats red Tootsie Pops?
What's wrong with a red Tootsie Pop?
It's all about the chocolate Tootsie Pop, Sam. Like, you have to have
so
chocolate Tootsie Pops.
weird.
How am I weird? You eat orange Tootsie Pops, I bet. Thank you. See?
All right, DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, we'll show you how a child's quick thinking actually saved a life when seconds mattered. Heart Threads is still ahead. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. A bill to decriminalize prostitution has been introduced in New York. DBL Nation, we're sharing your comments on this controversial proposal coming up next.
Best Fiend.
DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you, but I think we're going to go to the desk and talk about what's going on over there. I think we're going to stay over here first. We're going to keep talking here, guys. So I want to talk to you about the Jon Stewart thing. I think it's really moving that he took time out of his busy schedule to go and do that, but I also think it's really messed up that he had to do that. Kind of concerning that he's the person who had to get survivors and first responders of 9/11 compensation. It's a little ridiculous to me, but the good news is it did pass. Now it moves to the House. The House will vote on it hopefully next month. But again, it's an extension. It's at least, I believe, a 15-year extension. But again, not enough. It should be for the rest of their lives. So I think we're going to go to the desk and see what they're chatting about. Let's go see what Brandon London's doing. Hey, Brandon London. Okay. What's happening over here?
But it was a great block.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good soccer debate. I'm glad you took my side, Sam.
Right now, I'm just reading through fifth host comments, ladies
Oh,
and
by the
gentlemen.
way, someone just wrote this. This is so interesting what you said. It looks like Pete Davidson is starting to look like Jane Doe's tattoos from the show Blind Spot. Do you guys know that show?
I've not seen that show, so I honestly couldn't comment.
So she awakes out in the middle, I think Times Square, and she has tattoos all over, and you said it, super random, and they're all clues to who she is. She's like a being.
I mean, I love tattoos, and I like it when people express themselves
Me
and show
too.
their personality, and obviously each to their own. But I just don't find that very appealing.
What tattoo would you get if you could?
Do you have a tattoo? I actually don't have any tattoos, but when I meet the person that I'm going to be with forever, I want the same tattoo as what Sam's husband has.
The kiss or the?
I want like either where we get married, the locations, or I want the first place we ever kissed. But they're like the latitude and longitude. Yeah, that's what I want.
Isn't that cool? Guys, tell us what tattoos you would get for love.
You got it, honey. Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. In New York, advocates for sex workers are pushing to decriminalize prostitution. If passed, a new bill would allow consenting adults to pay for sex, but the trafficking, coercion, and sexual abuse of minors will still be illegal. Supporters say this will prevent sex workers from being exploited, while opponents are concerned about the spread of diseases and the long-term mental effects of the sex trade. So DBL Nation, should prostitution be decriminalized? Let's get right to their
to comments.
Yes.
Patrick from Facebook says it's legal in other parts of the world. This could help human trafficking victims because we could regulate the system more. Prostitution will exist no matter what. I agree. Prostitution has been on this earth for quite some time now. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with this though. But if it is something, because they are saying that we would still maintain the current laws on rape, human trafficking, assault, and sexual harassment. If it's helping people, then I'm okay with it.
Amy from Facebook says our lawmakers definitely have better things to spend time and energy on. Amy, I disagree a little bit, only because I think we aren't really aware of how much of an epidemic sex trafficking is, STDs are, and if you legalize it or decriminalize it, I mean, you allow it to be regulated. And I know a lot of conservatives, and I'd love to debate with you, think that's too much government, but what you can do is have healthy needle systems, have STD testing, have women made sure they have not someone that's taking advantage of them. I'm okay with all of that.
Nicholas from Facebook says first shrooms, he means mushrooms, are decriminalized, and now this. Society is going down the drain. Where are our values? I'm really sorry, Nicholas, but I have to disagree. So obviously I'm from Europe, and over there, not in England, but in our neighbouring countries, Germany and Amsterdam, the sex trade is legal. It has been since the year 2000. And I've been there myself. I've seen the areas, I've seen the girls, I've seen exactly what happens. It's very well policed. They are taken care of, and I think it's a much safer environment for those women. Some of those women don't have a choice. Maybe it's the only way they can feed their families.
Yep.
We don't know what their circumstances are. So I would much rather, if it was myself and my situation, know that it's being policed and monitored, and I've got help and assistance readily available.
Well said. Jesse from Facebook says sexually transmitted diseases will be out of control. Well, if it is regulated, just like with the adult film industry, then you can also mandate testing. And so there are ways and the individuals can feel safer about getting contraception and things like that to protect against STDs. So again, when you regulate something that's not driven down into the dark, driven down into the black market, then you can protect from all those things from happening.
All right. Philippe from Facebook says, time to watch our divorce rate skyrocket.
What?
No. Divorce is already at 51% anyway. I just look at this as something as sexuality is such a taboo topic here in America. I don't think that legalizing or decriminalizing prostitution or sex work is going to make it skyrocket, because if they're already doing it while it's illegal, what makes you think they're not going to do it because it's legal now?
If you have the urge, you have the urge.
Absolutely.
Got it. Thank you for writing in. We love hearing what you all have to say. We do have an update on Cuba Gooding Jr.'s alleged groping investigation. Let's get to Raquel Villanueva. She has that news at the moment.
Well, Sam, Cuba Gooding Jr. plans to turn himself into police tomorrow after he was accused of groping a woman at a bar in New York City. He plans to be booked on a misdemeanor charge, but the 51-year-old insists he did nothing wrong and tells TMZ he trusts the system. Police were called to Midtown Magic Hour's rooftop bar early Monday morning by a woman who claims Cuba groped her. Now, he had already left the bar by the time police arrived. Cuba believes surveillance video will help clear his name, and I'll keep you updated on this developing story.
All right, thank you, Raquel. Coming up on DBL, he may only be 7 years old, but this kid is showing heroism far beyond his years. We'll tell you how he saved a life in Heart Threads next.
Poll. So glasses, yay, nay. I'm getting new ones and they're way cooler, and I'm sorry you guys didn't get to see the debut, but my eyes are killing me with pollen. I'm legally blind. I'm -8 in each eye. So I need to wear glasses, but these aren't the best, are they? They're okay. 1 to 10 people write in, hashtag me. We have someone new to introduce you. What do you think?
It's not me.
What do you think? What do you think?
I like it.
I know, but I could do better. I could be funkier.
You can have a cooler glasses.
This is a little boring.
Yeah, you're a lot cooler than what the glasses make you look to be.
Can I be honest? I can't see you.
Really?
No, not at all.
I think for your position on the
Brandon, are you there still? I know. See, Kelly's just a round circle of white in her face. There's no eyes, there's no mouth, there's no nose. She's right there. Okay, I gotta put this back on. Am I looking in the camera? Okay, hold on. Guys? Okay, oh, there we are. We want to introduce you to our new digital PA. This is Travis! DBL Nation, if you have any questions for Mr. Travis, let us know, including favorite things to eat, favorite color, favorite guilty pleasure. Hit me up and let us know. All right? Travis!
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about heroism. When a little boy saw his neighbor in a life or death situation, he knew what he had to do. Watch how he stepped up just in the nick of time.
This 7-year-old was honored for his quick thinking and heroism. Waylon Boyd saw a tractor roll onto his neighbor. He told his parents and his neighbor's husband what had happened, and they were able to get help. The next week, Waylon got a surprise at school.
So we'd like to recognize Waylon Boyd.
The local fire department presented Waylon with some special gifts.
T-shirt that says Next Generation Firefighter.
Thanks to Waylon's quick action, his neighbor is recovering, and Waylon's mom is proud of her little boy.
I'm really proud. We're both really proud. So he did really, really good. I think that's something what you as a parent want to see happen.
DBL Nation is proud of you as well, Waylon. We'll be right back.
A little sex slump before the nausea kicks in. Okay.
Really? Just start without me.
So our pregnant wife just told us to have sex while listening to her bark.
I've never been so aroused.
So Rachel and Priscilla, welcome to Daily Blast Live. The two of you are involved in a lot of romantic situations with your co-star, Greg Polar. So is it ever difficult for the three of you to get through those saucy, sexy scenes?
The first one was not difficult, but it was nerve-wracking, I think, for me at least. And
yeah.
But there is, with 3 people filming them, and usually a Steadicam following us around, it's always a little awkward because one person's just waiting like patiently to go in.
I'm just, you know, we're like, have you had a mint?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, is your breath bad? But yeah, the first one for me,
there's no one else to look at.
There's no one else to look at. Greg's not here.
So how do you get your sauciness on when you're surrounded by loads of strangers?
You just, you try and ignore, you know, you're in the scene and try and ignore everyone around you. But for the most part, our show deals more with the relationship aspect of things. So we don't have many scenes like that.
Are we trying to make you, me, and her look just like you and me?
And I need to know, what are you all looking forward to for the upcoming season? I mean, can you guys tell me any spoilers, any secrets?
Well, there's a baby coming.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
Emma's pregnant. So we're all of our characters are trying to, figure out what that's going to look like now, having this little being coming into our lives just when we've sort of stepped into this new role of us being married. And how does that affect all of us?
You guys are all scared of rocking the boat. But the boat needs to be rocked.
It'll be interesting to see how all that plays out, and I look forward to seeing you play a mummy on screen as well.
Thank you. It was fun.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Tori.
All right, so Sam, we got some U.S. women's soccer.
I just got an update on that, too.
Oh, I can't wait for this. All right, Brandy Sprung. I love being live. Brandy Sprung says, I don't believe the girls celebrated too hard. You worked so hard to get to the team and you score a goal in the game. I would celebrate.
Bam.
Naomi says, when it comes to sports, sometimes the truth hurts. The U.S. won fairly, and I applaud the Thai team for at least making it to the game.
Let me involve this update from one of the coaches just came forward saying there was a reason why they wanted to score so many goals is because in the World Cup, in this stage that they're at, the goal differential can be a deciding factor in who you play, how you advance. You don't say yep, you didn't know.
We didn't have time to say it.
So I agree now. I'm all on board with the U.S. team. Yeah, because I see it as I see it as a strategy.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, but don't say
welcome back to the athlete side. And Kylan, here goes your participation trophy.
It's so weird.
We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.